JR, what was your big takeaway from that game?
Oh, they won the possession game, and leading into it, that's all we talked about. They turned us over 7 more times, and then they out-rebounded us on the offensive glass by 6. So that's what it come down to.
How difficult is it when you're facing a team that you know is going to be pressing up the floor as intently as they do, and then with the physicality that they do the entire game too?
I actually look at it the other way, as if we navigate through that, we'll get pretty good output. We just 20 turnovers is way too much.
What do you put those turnovers down to? Skill error, or do you put it down to not being ready for the physicality potentially?
I'd have to watch to reevaluate. We were just too loose in some moments. Sometimes you just need the simple play instead of exploring, fishing, those type of things. Just move the ball and give it a chance.
What were your first impressions of David out there and what he did on both ends?
Yeah, like he's going to fit in with our group really well. I certainly felt like he got his welcome to the NBL moments throughout the game. But yeah, I think he'll fit us very well.
Only 7 field goal attempts for Joe.
Yep.
Only 2 in the second half. He did get to the line throughout the game, but what do you put that down to, not being able to sort of get him the shots that I assume you wanted to get?
Yeah, I'll hold my breath to answer that question. I don't want to answer it honestly.
Jaron, what did you make of that game, and what was it like as a player going up against their physicality? And as John said, they turned you over a lot. What's it like going up against that pressure?
They're a good team. They're a physical team. They press a lot. Like he said, we got some things we got to fix.
How do you try and navigate, that high, 94 feet of defence from Southeast, and what did that sort of part of your game go wrong when it came to, like Alvin said, turning the ball over?
Well, we just have to look after the ball. Like, it was a 4-point game with 53 seconds to go, so it was like a good game, right? We have 10 turnovers. The mood in the room right now would be a little different. So, disappointing to lose. We have some things to fix, but it's not the Grand Canyon we're trying to solve here.
What positives do you take off the back of that then?
Oh, look, we've been on the road for quite a while. We had 1 home game against Illawarra. So to go on the road and navigate that the way we have, and then just tinkering with our roster through that, I feel like we've done a good job with that.
Jaron, what opportunity does these last few games on the road present you guys as a group, an opportunity to really combine together and get that chemistry going?
We have a group that hangs out a lot off the court, especially when we're on the road. It's gonna do nothing but help us down the road, and we got to win games.
Tom, JR, what's the message? You're a third of the way through the season now, probably not exactly where you want to be, but what's the message to the group at the moment about what needs to improve? And I'm sure it's probably more little tweaks here and there, but what do you think needs to improve to kind of get you to be winning a bit more consistently, or just playing a bit more consistently?
Yeah, we're a third of the way through, and you can look at that we're 5-5. Unless Perth Wildcats are 10-0, it seems like we're a failure. So what I would say is our roster is our roster now. So now the pieces are together. We get to go home for a week to practice, but then we go on the road again. Duke's had a couple practices with us, so it's going to take a period of time for us to be at our best. And the last time I looked, playoffs were in March.
John, what do you see David's role being once he's had time to integrate, probably 2-3 weeks down the track from now?
Yep.
Where do you see him playing most, and is he starting, is he coming off the bench, and how do you think he's going to really help?
Oh, you saw it tonight, his ability defensively to be disruptive up the floor or then off the ball physically, his athleticism, in our backcourt. No disrespect to anyone on our roster, but he adds a nice level of athleticism to our backcourt. Offensively, open floor, downhill, very capable spot-up shooter. And then, the couple practices we've had, his willingness to share the ball and make plays for his teammates. The best example for me tonight, Dylan Windler, could argue one of the best shooters in the league. He just moves the ball to David Duke, who's been around us for 4 or 5 days. Like, to me, that shows like we have something within our group when guys are willing to make that extra pass in a moment like that.
John, what did you? That's my train of thought. What's the challenge in the sort of perimeter rotations that you're going through? Obviously, Jaron and Ben start today, and then you do have Sunday and Lat. I assume trying to find minutes for, but it's just juggling what you need at what times. What's the challenge like trying to work through that rotation?
It's part of the job. In these moments, and probably going back to Tom when he goes, well, what's a third of the way of the season mean? Is pre-season, or when you recruit guys, everyone talks about winning a championship. I actually think these are the moments you really get to see who people are. And if you're about what you said during the recruitment, and like that's what I mean is what I've seen with this group right now. Like we were here for a couple of days practicing, and they were like competitive, really good practices. So I think that's why we can have really good growth with our group, is we show up every day at practice and we're trying to get something out of it. And I think I ended up playing 12 guys tonight. It is a challenge, but if you're about winning, you understand where you sit in that moment and you work hard to get what you want.
You're a unique team where you sort of had to come to Melbourne early to exist here for a couple of days before this game. Do you like that? Is that preferable for you?
I would prefer just to come in the day before, because that's how we usually tackle a road trip. I don't know what the true logistics of. I would have preferred to stay in Tassie for a couple of days and then just come in like we would normal for a road trip. But logistically, we had to come into Melbourne earlier.
Jaron, what was it like being out there with David? The first sort of glimpse we got of him, the athleticism stood out, but what's it like being on the floor with him?
Yeah, I mean, everyone knows that he's a good player. He's shown it before he got here. He fit right into our group. He's, like he said, past 2 days in practice we've had, he's made his mark. He gets downhill, he's unselfish, he plays hard, and for a guy that's only been here for in the country for 5-6 days at this point, that's all you can ask of him. So
hey Jaron, you look confident out there, you look pretty settled. Do you feel it? Like, are you getting your legs under you and getting a sense of what it's like to play NBL minutes?
Yeah, I think any time you're at a new spot and you've been there for a little while, you start to pick things up. At the end of the day, basketball is basketball to some degree. So once you pick up on little nuances and physicalities of different places and styles and stuff like that, you can get more comfortable. But once the ball goes up, everyone's playing the same game everywhere in the world. So,
John, Christian Doolittle, he probably didn't have his best game today, but a couple of big buckets late, comes up with the block.
Yeah.
What are your levels of confidence in him, like late game situations, to make the right plays?
Doolittle's a guy I lose zero sleep over no matter how he plays. I do try to figure out how we can put him in some better situations so we just don't have to rely on him in those moments. But he also embraces that, he was tremendous down that last, 4 minutes or whatever. And as you can see, he can influence the game at both ends.
John, you've got another game coming up soon against the Adelaide 36ers, another pretty tough little schedule. I know it's early days, but how are you feeling about that? Are you confident you can turn it around?
Always confident. We've shown that we can travel well. I'm looking forward to us getting home and getting probably 3 really good practices before we head to Adelaide. We're an evolving group, and that's just going to take time.
John, at the risk of putting you in a tough position, did you get explanation on the 2 reviews at the end of that game? And did they satisfy you?
Did they satisfy me? No, we lost them. But I haven't watched them either. But I will be, it'll be interesting viewing.
Cool. I can wrap it there. Thanks, guys. Thank you.